slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Hello and welcome to the Titan Esports 2025 Gladiator League Week 2. Do not be fooled by the intro. This is Gladiator League, a league that normally doesn't get a stream, but now they will be here, housed on Titan Esports 2 for the rest of the season. My name is Mojo Pal. I am joined by Fel today. Fel, how you doing?
I'm excited. This is my first Titan cast, so excited to be here and ready for this Gladiator matchup between two undefeated teams. Can't get any better than that, right?
Absolutely. Well, welcome to the Titan family. Leslie, shout out in the chat. Love you. Yes, and we do have two undefeated teams. Now it's only week 2. Both these teams are 1-0, but undefeated in game score as well, I believe. You're correct. They're both 2-0. So today we have Jolly Roger Calypsos Calamity versus Malevolent Esports Eclipse. These are, we would argue, probably the front runner teams so far, right? Like convincing week 1 wins.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that you can start a season out 2-0, you know, you're feeling good, you're riding high, and you just want to keep the momentum going. You know, the worst thing you can do is come out of here 0-2. So either team, they want to push it to game 3. They want some positive spin to put on their roster, and you know, moving forward, you know, you just want to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the time to show everybody, right? Like, no, look, we are the team to watch out for. Like, this is a great, you know, time to be like, look, we're both front runner teams, but like we have the edge up. Like, this is how this season is going to look. We are the team to really watch out for. And both these teams have the potential to do that today. I'm hoping we get a banger. Both these teams are good. And also, shout out to the people writing the content. We had a little content posted today or yesterday with quite a lot of stuff in the jungle power rankings. Both of these teams, junglers, Thin and King Vivi, are ranked 1 and 2. So that's potentially a matchup to watch out for.
Oh, definitely. That's my favorite kind of matchup too, because they, you know, there's two things that win the game, you know, tempo and vision, right? And jungle pushes the tempo and the support pushes the vision. So if you can win on both of those fronts, and having the stronger jungler usually means that even if you have a weak side lane or whatever, you can make up for it on cross map plays, maybe a little bit more mechanic advantages, and then just knowing where to be and what to do and what your win con is. That's, you know, all the intelligence is in the junglers. So that's my favorite thing to look out for. So I'm excited to have 1 and 2 facing off.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially in a league like this, right? The Gladiator League, I believe average rank is gold. And so having your jungler as like potentially your star player, I think is great. You want someone who's a leader. You want someone, as you said, placing that vision, finding those, like coordinating with the team. If that is your best player, like you're set up for a ton of success.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't really know any of these players. I do know that JRCC did have a sub from another league that I've been a part of, and I got to watch him play an off role, and they worked with him and they won 2-0, you know. And so having a last minute sub and being able to pull out a 2-0 win over a team that, you know, I don't know where their power ranking was preseason, but still to have a last minute sub come in, play off role, and just dominate the bot lane for you, and be able to work with that and still put out an impressive performance where there was just no doubt that they were going to win is absolutely huge. So I'm excited to see how they work now that Reximus is back over at support. So I'm just excited to get in here and see how this goes.
Yeah, me too. I believe our draft should be up shortly. Get into game 1, and there it is. Just as I said it, I predicted that. I would like to say. Don't think so. Just a reminder, it is Fearless Draft for every league this season here at Titan Esports. We are playing Fearless. And I believe this is the correct pick order. Things have just appeared all at once, so we can take a look and sort of talk through this. I believe important to note, JRCC did miss out on a ban, I believe, due to insufficient ranked games played on one account. But first look at these drafts. How are we feeling?
I mean, they're both speaking to my heart here, especially in like an IBSG or Platinum below comp. You want CC. That's like my main thing whenever I'm with the team or talking and stuff. Like CC wins everything, and every single champion on this team, with the exception of MF, has crowd control. Now she does have a slow, and if she goes for the Soreldia's Grudge, you know, she can have a super slow, but she has everybody else to set up for her. The Protect the Jinx comp is in for the side of MVE. Love to see that. You know, if this game goes into 30 minutes and you get a bad team fight, you know, watch out, because that whole thing can snowball out of control if she just picks up the getting excited. So I'm interested to see this. I do love the mid lane matchup. For me is really good. Ahri, I love playing Ahri into Malzahar just because it's so easy to break his shield and set your jungle up for some ganks. So I think a lot of vision control over the mid lane is going to be huge, and then we're going to see what these junglers can do.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that shout out of the mid lane matchup. I do think Malzahar is the pick that sort of stands out to me here as maybe slightly out of the usual like pro meta. Otherwise, these are highly contested picks, especially like Wukong in the jungle is huge right now. Jinx City carry, really great. I think that we're seeing too is that like very big like front to back scaling team comp for Malevolent. Over here, as you said, protect the Jinx, scale up, get those Ornn items even. Like at 30 minutes, they're going to be dominating team fights. But JRCC has some like maybe slightly more lane dominant picks, right? Trundle into Ornn, MF Nami into Jinx Braum. Like these are things we're looking to push some lanes and maybe get earlier advantages.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, if you could play the little mini meta game, but pop the shield out. You know, if you can bait the shield, and then the whole plan of the Braum, you know, being able to protect all 5 people from the MF ult, from, you know, everybody diving in on top of the Jinx. You know, there's a lot of disengage on the side of MVE that, you know, really tells the tale of what they want to do. Now, JRCC on the other side, the Trundle in the top lane is one of my favorites. I love the split push meta, especially in these leagues, because a lot of people don't know how to play against it very effectively. But one thing that you can get into is people don't know how to play with it. And so we'll see if JRCC knows how to keep the tempo going and knows how to keep Trundle from overextending or getting caught in bad team fights when he's not set up properly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good call. I do think that Trundle is a dangerous pick in that way, right? Where you can absolutely win the game through split pushing, and it is very hard to play around from the opponent's side. But your team must know what to do too, right? Your team must not be engaging 4v5 on the other side of the map. And Malevolent Esports, this is a team comp that wants to be grouped as 5 pretty much as they can, right? You want Ornn and Wukong engaging over the top. You need Braum there with you in the team fight. You need Ahri there with you in the team fight. Trundle would be helpful in the team fight if he needs to be there, right? You just put the subjugate on the Ornn and like do a little bit. But yeah, he would much rather be split pushing. So we'll have to see if JRCC has the capability to use that as a win condition, or if this Trundle is really just like a lane pick.
I think the telltale sign is going to come right from the get-go. If in the first 6 minutes the jungles are up top, you know what the plan is. You know, just get the Trundle ahead, or at least keep him safe from the Wukong, and then just let him do the thing. Once he gets 2 items, especially with the healer, with a vamp item like Ravenous Hydra or something like that, it's so hard to kill him. And you know, next thing you know, you're sending 3 people, and now it's 4v2 on the other side of the map, and then they're taking advantage of it. So split push meta is you don't see it as much. I love when I see it though, so I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, me too. We should have a really great game coming up here. 2 really classic team comps. You had Protect the Jinx. Also, like this is like a season 1 team comp. Either the Curse of the Bullet Time thing here, right? The MF Amumu like team fight. They can fight back in their own on team fight. So yeah, we should get some explosive team fight action in this game that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely. And I think another big thing is going to be, how does this early game play out for the spot lane? I'm really interested to see how this Nami MF, it can do a ton of damage that you're not expecting. And Braum, if he gets caught out in the wrong spot and the shield just eats a Nami bubble, like in the middle of him trying to jump or something like that, you know, he can get caught out. And if they're doing that when, you know, the Amumu's coming down and locking down, or if the Wukong's on the other side of the map, the 2v2 for the side of JRCC is definitely at an advantage early on.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think we should expect to see them having the push. And also, like, speaking of these junglers, they both really spike in their like gank ability at level 6, but
Mhm.
Amumu can pull off some stronger ganks earlier than that, and Wukong really suffers in those early levels trying to gank. So I think you're totally right. If Braum ends up caught out of position, right, if they somehow manage to find the push and get punished by the Amumu or something like that, that could be really bad. Whereas like Wukong may have a hard time punishing MF Nami.
Yeah, and if the Mumu knows how to handle his cues and can keep 2 bandage tosses in his pocket while he's coming down, you miss one, but then you have a follow up and everything. So I'm really excited to see this. If it's 1 and 2 versus each other, like I said earlier, the jungle match is absolutely paramount in this. We'll see where they want to go, because can also just spend all his time top lane just getting that trundle ahead, while Nami and MF just play safe on the bot lane. And I don't know how these teams interact with the supports just yet. I'm interested to see if we're going to get a lot of roams. If the Nami roams, Braum and Jinx can just hop on that MF so quick. So could be a dangerous. It could be a dangerous situation for the MF, as we're hearing that we're a couple technical difficulties. So we're just gonna, just sit here on the draft for a little bit longer. So I guess the question is, which draft do you like better?
Ooh, I do think that in a league like this, I would favor Malevolent's draft a tiny bit. I think like really easy engage tools, just press the buttons all at once, and like your team fight is super golden. I think there's great team fight capability on JRCC too, but I worry about the Trundle. I worry about our ability to use the Trundle to its full capacity compared to the Ornn, who like, even if you're down in lane as Ornn, like I imagine he will be impactful in team fights. How do you feel?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, he doesn't even really need items to be useful. He can come at 0 and 5 and just, blow the Ornn horn, and then, just everything kicks off. I kind of would have liked to see, instead of the Wukong, like maybe like a Maokai AP jungler with a Yasuo in the mid lane. There's so many different ways for it to set that off. But yeah, mechanically maybe not the type of champion that Lokai likes to play. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for this. I really want to see the split push work, and if it does, I'm going to be so excited. So I'm going to go for JRCC on this one, just because I don't know how well MV is going to be able to counterplay the split push.
Yeah, absolutely. It will take a lot of coordination to do something like that. Again, we should be in game in just a minute here. Had a couple of brief spectator issues, and there we go. Spectator issues resolved. Again, it's just predicting things out here. We are hopping in to game. Still getting beaten down by the Trundle with the club, though. Doesn't have the ultimate, doesn't need it. Although, TDD taking a little, not sustaining too much with only the Tiamat in his inventory. Sushi fine to walk this one off. Probably not going to be a kill here in the top lane. Trundle actually going to have to recall, smacking into the Bramble Vest.
Yeah, and I was just about to mention that, the early Bramble Vest, as we see the Jinx trying to send the rocket up top. Do a little bit of a cheeky, like, if it works, it works. There's not really much to lose as long as you don't engage on the bot side here.
Oh, TDD take it very low. Actually, wow, way overextends, and Sushi punishes. This is the sneaky thing about Ornn. I think even in matchups where you really think, oh, this should be free, I should be able to really punish the Ornn in lane. If you overextend a little bit, all of a sudden he does more damage than you expect. He bought a couple of items, and you drop just like that.
Yeah, and the wave management from Sushi on this Ornn was almost perfect. He saw that there was a cannon and two minions. He's like, I'll just freeze this. You either have to come back or you are going to lose an entire wave and a half as the Trundle, which when you're up on CS, you don't want to happen. But JRCC is looking to make a play here before this next Dragon. Ooh.
Yeah, and there it is. That's the combo tidal wave and the curse of the bullet time. Oh, and a double land on the bubble from Reximus. Double kill goes over to King Vivi on the Amumu, and the feat of warfare to JRCC. Huge play coming out of the Amumu in the jungle.
Yeah, that was max range Q and perfect timing. He's making Thin is now taking a little bit of damage on the Malzahar, or from the Malzahar. So Reximus completely makes up for the fact they missed that early bubble by hitting 2 at a time here. You love to see it. Nami enjoyers in the chat should love that. Nothing feels better than when you hit a double bubble on it. Another sort of wasted Jinx rocket. Seen a lot of Dragon steals from the Jinx ultimate early on. The execute damage is actually almost as good, if not better, than the smite. Yeah, really, really well played by the side of JRCC to get that and then take one of the dragons for themselves, which you don't want to be giving up objectives early on.
Yeah, really huge. It explodes the gold lead open for them too right now, up about 1.5K from what was a pretty even game state. I do want to shout out in the mid lane as well. Off screen, I believe 2 ults were blown from Malevolent trying to find the Malzahar. He blew flash and ult. So flashless Malzahar maybe a little more punishable in the mid lane, but overall they didn't quite get what they were looking for, trying to make the pseudo cross-map play. They just got caught in the bot side, and that's the team fight power that we were talking about earlier, right? It's not just Malevolent that has crazy good team fighting ultimates. If you can land a good Curse of the Sad Mummy, the team fight's really, really hard to win.
Yeah, it is. And we saw the end of the play there where Malzahar or Wukong actually got just a little bit lucky. He was off by maybe half a pixel there from being under tower shot there. So King Vivi looking to pressure this top side again. He is spending all of his time here. You did get everything out of the bot lane, so I'd like to see Vivi revisit that bot again as soon as his ult is up to try to press that a little bit more. Looks like Thin on the Wukong is going to be doing that to the Malzahar, potentially, or he's just going for an easy.
Yeah, trying to stay away the blue buff. Saw the Amumu show on that top vision, thinks he can get a free camp away from him here, and he can. Yeah, I agree. I do think Amumu should probably spend more time down to the bot side, try and push that lead, especially because Trundle, yes, does have the push, will still have that lane lead, but kind of threw away a couple of deaths early, right? And really doesn't have the lead that you were maybe expecting him to have in that game. So I think we play to our strong side here, which is now the bot lane if you're JRCC. As we see, maybe setting up for a dive. Wukong is here. Wow, the Glacial Fissure comes out from Noble, knocks up Reximus, taking down to about half HP, but they can't follow up with a dive because there's just no wave.
No, there's no wave, and I think that's just a little bit of miscommunication there on the side of MVE, but they do have a 4v3 here coming up as Lokieth on this Arya, and we're going to see. Oh.
Yeah, Charm landed on a King Vivi. Couldn't find the...
Oh, we lost him again.
Follow-up, the Thin was just out of range. Couldn't get in for the Cyclone.
As you see the Jinx rocket coming out for a third time. No, third time. Misses again. So.
Nothing to be found. That one looked like a stretch. I think that was a full HP Trundle.
Probably when he sent it off, it wasn't, but that Ravenous Hydra plus his passive is just so huge. We do see the mid lane is getting pressured a lot. I do think that Thin is going to end up coming into the mid lane again to try to redo another gank here as is just a little bit. I feel like the Ari could have done something there, but
yeah, it did look good. Knocked off the Malzahar spell shield, but wasn't able to maybe find the charm. Didn't feel confident in it. Thin coming up to that top side, just gonna clear away some vision. TD gonna back off. Reximus getting vision on the bot side as well. Next dragon is up in about a minute and a half. We'll have to see if the teams want to fight for it, if MVE thinks they can contest it, or if they think they have to give it over to JRCC. If you're Malevolent, are you planning on contesting this dragon?
Oh, 100%. You have Ari with ult. You have Brahm's ult will be back up. Everybody's gonna have everything at their disposal, and if you can get a good block with the Brahm and actually get on top of them, you have a really good shot at actually taking this dragon and being stronger. But there's also the Rift Herald up top, where even though he's got a couple deaths, that push from the Trundle just leaves it open. Just checks for the Wukong, but that's probably going to be the next thing that they go for, as the bot prior was over on the side for JRCCs. Sushi oversteps a little bit. We'll see what comes of this.
Yeah, Sushi walks in trying to clear a ward. Oh, dashing in, actually. TDD may be able to get him. Puts the pillar on, pops the subjugate on. Both junglers are here. King Vivi, first one in. Curse of the Sad Mummy stuns up the Orange Cyclone out from Thin. Oh, TDD flashing over the wall. Thinks he can get the kill on the Wukong, and he absolutely can. Another kill down to the Trundle. MVE oversteps in the top side, and now the map belongs to JRCC. They're going to pick up this Rift Herald, and they may even be able to back in time to look at the dragon.
Yeah, a little bit of a bad play by Sushi. I know you have your jungler in there, but it's not always a good play. You were out of there. You could have just reset, went back up to the wave, and then waited for Ari to get there as well. 3v2 with a Trundle against the tank is never a good plan, but now Trundle breaks open the first turret. You have the Rift Herald, and you have Prio on the bot side for this dragon. So interested to see where this goes. We do have the Malzahar ult. The Mummy ult is going to be down. And yes, and Beats does come over to the side of JRCC. So huge tempo advantage for the side of JRCC now. But MVE has the scaling comp. So if they can just not give too much over to the side of JRCC, they can still get to their late game win con, which is trainer gain on this Jinx.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you would really rather not give this dragon if you can avoid it, but it might be unavoidable. Rift Herald spawned up in the mid lane, going to knock down that mid lane tier 1. That's a second tower going into JRCC. If they didn't have feats before, which they did, they super have it now. They got all 3 of the things that he said. Oh, Rift Herald just barely gets a second crash on that mid lane tier 2. Ari trying her best to stop it. Dragon control is completely in favor of JRCC as we see a little trading up top lane. Sushi going to dash out of the way. Subjugate put down on the Orange. Trundle just going to keep clearing up the wave. As we see vision control on this bot side river completely in the favor of JRCC. But MVE grouped up as 3, trying to see if they can maybe contest this. MF is a little bit split up from the team, and Ari's coming in on the flank. This may be an angle. King Vivi doesn't quite have the ultimate back up yet. Maybe wants to wait for that. Oh, Ari maybe caught out though. Malzahar ult is down on him. Bandage toss hit from King Vivi, and the ultimate is, still just not quite back up. As a tidal wave comes out, Glacial Fissure though. King Vivi may have overstepped trying to get it. Curse of Sad Mummy comes up with the fairy. Last second, and the bullet time from Lucifer takes down Thin. Noble's running for his life, but he will not escape the MF. A double kill for the MF. Amumu not overstepped for a second. He knew he had it in the bag. This dragon is going over to JRCC.
Yeah, that was a really well done by JRCC. They ended up getting everybody in the position that they wanted. MF, it looked like, was out of the picture, but she was just waiting for the play to develop. You have all 4 of your guys there. Really good flash Curse of the Sad Mummy by King Vivi here. That was a really heads up play to just lock down all the damage on the side of MVE and to secure everything. And they did what we were talking about in the draft, which is wait out the Braum shield. It's down, boom, out comes the bullet time. Perfectly executed on the side of JRCC. For the team that doesn't have the team fight, they sure did pull that one off really well.
Yeah, and it looked sketchy for a second, right? The Mumu wasn't quite back up at the start of the fight. It looked like maybe they were going to lose, maybe he was going to get caught out, but he doesn't. It comes up just at the right time, flashes in, hits the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Lucifer comes up, cleans up all the kills, which, by the way, is exactly where we want the gold going if we're JRCC, right? We want these.
Yeah, exactly.
They pick up a second dragon. They are so far ahead.
Yeah, they are. And like you were saying, like the gold goes to where you want it. Unfortunately for Malzahar, he's going to turn into like a supporty Rylai's Malzahar, where his job is just going to be to throw down his Voidlings and hopefully get, you know, some space aids onto somebody and then just keep them slowed down for everybody else. 004, it's a great KDA to have, but it feels really bad when you're on a champion that wants to kill people.
Yeah, it's out. Oh yeah, maybe a little overextended. Charm lands, Cyclone hits as well. TDD is just dead. That's a pretty big shutdown going over thin on the Wukong. Stepped up a little too far looking for vision, but with no objectives up, Otacon's up, but it's on the bot side. Not really gonna be able to capitalize too much on the kill to Trundle. Maybe they could push a little onto that top tier 1. But yeah, as you were saying, maybe not Malzahar's dream to be 0-0 and 4 building a Rylai's. Oh, actually, let's hold on to that thought for later. Yeah, we are hitting this Otacon. It is 20 minutes. They say, hey, look, we see you on the top side of the map. We are going to punish on the bot side. We could take this Otacon as 3. Malzahar actually going up, trying to see if he can stop the top tier 1, and he can't. Spellshooter's been popped, but oh my god, just kills Thin out of nowhere. Gets a kill onto the Wukong. Doesn't have flash. Probably won't be able to escape the Ornn. Actually may be able to get out.
That Rylai's putting in the work. Oh, I love to see it.
Yeah, the Rylai's ends up paying off huge as he does escape Sushi at the end there. They pick up the Otacon on the bot side of the map as well. JRCC coming out on top over all of these plays.
Yeah, and I love seeing that from the Malzahar. He knew that he was going to get knocked up by the Ornn, but he also knew that he had the kill pressure onto the Wukong, and at the very least, you take the 1-for-1, but he ends up getting out. Great itemization. I love seeing the Rylai's coming out as an early item for the Malzahar. So really, really, really well played by him, and that's just so disheartening if you're on the side of MVE where you're like, we have this guy, we got him, and we lost the fight.
Yeah, it really worked out in their favor. I mean, I will say the gold lead has actually shrunk a little bit for JRCC compared to where it was. Malevolent did pick up 2 objective bounty tier 1 towers on that. The mid and top tier ones both fell. Jinx got the gold on that mid tier 1, right? Trying to come back a little bit, but here's the tower falling with the grubs. Trundle's gonna keep getting these. This gold lead may have shrunk a tiny bit, but they got Otacon. They saved what looked like it could have been a disaster on the top side. They're feeling just fine in this game as the next dragon comes up in about 2 minutes. We may have a bit of a lull.
Right, and what you're missing in the gold items, you're making up for in stats, right? That early Otacon is going to prevent MVE from getting any of the stats from any of the flowers. So TDD just loves to fight. I love seeing this, and he is actually winning, forcing flashes, and this is probably just a disengage.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be fine. The rest of the team's coming in on the other side. Oh, King BB hits the 2-man curse of the Sad Mummy again. Bullet time comes in over the top. Lucifer cleans it up as well. Malzahar TP's in. It is a fiesta down to the bot side. Everybody is here. Oh, and a Banish Toss connects on a Noble. We'll see if he can get the Blast Cone out. Amumu sticks with him on the Blast Cone. Maybe a little out of position. Is Ari going in? Oh, Charm goes wide, looking for 2 targets. Gets stunned up by the Malzahar. Is going to fall to the MF as well. 3 down for Malevolent. JRCC walk out of this fight completely safe, and they're going to grab a tier 2 on the bot side as well. It is looking a little bit tough for Malevolent.
Yeah, I don't know who the shot caller on MVE is, but their coach is definitely going to have some words for them after watching that play. You could see it 100% coming. The Trundle's overextended, but he's there for a reason. You saw them walk through the jungle. You picked the play anyways. Wukong should have just ulted him once to get his Ornn out, but a little bit of a mistake, a little bit of a overstep, and they made him pay the price for it. Now JRCC is in complete control of this game, and although Jinx does scale, so does Trundle. So does Malzahar if he ults her and she doesn't have Mercurial Scimitar or Quicksilver. So this is not looking good for Malevolent yet so far in this game.
Yeah, what's the angle back into the game if you're Malevolent? Dragon coming up in 15 seconds. I assume we really can't contest this one and have to wait, scale up, see if we can get a couple more items on Jinx before the soul fight, right? Is that the idea?
So Yeah, so there's that, and then there's also the mental side of it, right? The emotional side of
Mm.
like, hey, we're just throwing ourselves. This is the point of the game where comms get quiet, people stop talking, people stop, saying things, and then everybody just goes on autopilot. And the better teams, they make sure that they don't do that. As the Jinx almost steals at that time.
Yeah, it looked a little close.
King VV holding the smite. But yeah, this is the time where you just want to focus up and keep the conversations going, saying, "Listen, we're probably going to lose game one, but we need to get something to hold on to for game two." Everybody can throw a lead, and that can totally happen as well. So stick to your game plan, slow it down, probably give up the outer tier twos, and then turtle and make them come to you, as you unfortunately have to give up some of the objectives.
So I look, I completely agree. I think the idea of look, let's see if we can get a play, get our mental back a little bit, right? Just try and keep our resolve. Say, hey, look, this hasn't gone the way we wanted. But I do have to shout out the idea in chat as well. That's like, hey, after this game, just make Thin run a couple laps.
Yeah, for being number one jungler, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
number one power rank jungler, brother.
yeah. As Phoenix is actually in the chat, I believe that is their coach, because he
Yes,
said
it is.
literally the opposite of everything we talked about. But things happen. Plays fall apart. You think you have the 2v1 up top, and Malzahar gets the kill. Sometimes plays just don't work out the way that you want them to. On the side of JRCC, they're doing everything that we talked about in the draft lobby. Trundle's on the bot side, and it's for members of JRCC grouping, stacking, taking objectives, and it does look like they're going to try to make TDD pay for this, but we'll see.
Yeah. They're probably going to find the pick on the Trundle here. Don't think he's going to be able to survive on the 1v2 for that long. Yeah, gets knocked up. Health bar just completely goes down. They make a cross-map play, but JRCC picks up the Baron on the other side of the map. They make it a tower here as well. If they can get to it before that's what JRCC gets here, they can. Yeah, they're going to grab a tower on the bot side as well. Look, this is the kind of play we're looking for, right? This is the kind of thing, hey, we cannot fight them 5v5. Nothing we can do in that front. Let's try and find what we can on the other side of the map, right? Get a little bit of gold. Take one last big team fight at the Dragon Soul. See if we can maybe steal it, see if we can maybe win a fight off the back of that. But like, God, look at this level advantage in the mid lane matchup, right? 17-14 for the Malzahar, who like wasn't even that dominant in lane, right? This has all just come off the back of good team fighting.
He was actually getting everything pushed in on him in the early game. The Wukong came up, he had the blow flash. So Ahri was getting everything. As we do see the Ornn item getting completed for the Jinx. So that's going to help her out a little bit. But now JRCC seems like they're overstepping their boundaries, as well as Thin's coming in on to Malzahar here.
Yeah, maybe getting a little bit cocky. Flash Glacial Fissure comes in from Noble. Adame is going to fall. Shutdown goes over to the Ahri again. That's where we want to go. King VV, though, not content to let this happen. Going in. Oh, hits the ult onto the Wukong clone. They're going to catch Braum. Potentially, maybe he can get out. Doesn't have the stand beside me. Yeah, is going to fall at the end of that play. That's 2 Baron buffs down for the side of JRCC, but they still have it on the MF. They've still got it on the Amumu. They are going to keep pushing down this top lane. They say, hey, you find a couple of picks, it does not matter. We are that far ahead. We are just going to push into your base anyway.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you can smack him around with your wallet, right? You can ult the Wukong clone and still get the Braum because of it. It feels really good when you could just like, sorry guys, I kind of screwed that up. A little bit of a itchy trigger finger, but it didn't really matter because you still got the Braum, thanks to the Nami and her speed ups and her, her passive working for the Mummy. But yeah, man, it's looking pretty rough for Malevolent here. Almost at the point where you're willing to give up the Cloud Soul just for a chance to still be able to win the game.
Yeah, the Cloud Soul will be spawning in about a minute. You kind of have to try and fight, but it looks a little bit doomed on the fight. You can always say, hey, look, give it. We'll try to fight you for Elder, but I think this is kind of their last chance. Maybe, no, I don't think they'll be able to get 3 items on the Jinx. 2.5 is where she's going to be at on the fight. 3 items is really where you want your high scaling hyper carry, but Ornn upgrades have come through, right? Got Ornn upgrades on 3 members, the Jinx and the Wukong. Ahri doing decently at item department as well, about 2.5. Everyone sitting about the 2.5 mark. This is the best chance you're going to get, right?
Yeah, and you can see that MVE is just kind of cattywampus all over them. Like, there was literally 4 people sitting around a red buff protecting Wukong from that. So they're kind of at a loss right now of what to do. It's evident, but you now have the Malzahar, who was creating pressure on the top side coming in for this team fight, and it looks like they want to go.
Yeah, they're looking for pick. They think that Thin has overextended on the mid wave. Ooh, just barely jukes out of the bandage toss. Nice movement from Thin. Oh, stops to clear a ward, though, and is gonna get hit by the bandage toss there. Bullet time may have come out a little bit earlier. They're not gonna find too much. Oh, but the Malzahar ultimate down onto the Wukong. He is running for his life. Pops the clone. He's about half HP. Can they get in there? No, not gonna find anything else. Charm connects on the Trundle. Gonna lose a bit of HP there, down to about half. But Wukong forced to back off. Flash blown, ult blown. Means the Dragon is gonna be that much harder to contest if you are Malevolent. They are pushing forwards. They want to see what they could do as JRCC retreating into where they know they have the vision. They got a pink in this bush. King Vivi looking for a pick, and I think he's going to find it. Oh, Braum goes to face check. Bandage toss comes through. Amumu doesn't even need to use the ultimate. Flashes through. Bandage toss gets another Curse of the Sad Mummy onto 2. King Vivi is running this lobby, and Sushi is running for the hills. He will fall at the end of the day. Pillar up stops the escape. Lucifer is unstoppable, and JRCC does not even need the soul. They are going to push it down mid lane.
Yeah, and that was just really, really well executed on the side of JRCC. There actually was sort of a, they could have probably re-engaged in the mid lane. All of the big ults were down on the side of JRCC, and you did have Jinx still at full health, but after losing fight after fight, it just kind of takes its toll on you, and they just were like, oh, we can't win. You know, that seems to be like what the mindset was for them there. So definitely something that they're going to have to look into for game 2. I think that's where your mind starts to wander here in series like this, to where you're just like, okay, we just got to see what we're going to do here for game 2 and start thinking about what you want to do there. But
absolutely,
it's not over until it's over.
It's not over. There's a Baron in 50 seconds. Maybe if they can get a steal, they can delay the game until Elder, get another steal, right? That's the sort of copium angle. But I agree. I think it's hard for your mind not to wander towards game 2 in this part. I think you have to try and keep your mind on the game at hand, but go, hey, maybe what went wrong this game for us? What can we fix looking into game 2, right? Is there something in the draft that we could change? We played our lanes.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, the laning wasn't bad. I mean, they did everything right in the 8 minutes. I mean, Orin even got kills onto solo kill onto the Trundle. So like the laning was good. It was everything after the lane and the macro play. After that early dragon, they seemed to just sort of shut down a little bit. So cleaning up from there, you can't be too hard on yourself, but now they're trading Trundle for a Baron.
Yep, doing the same thing again. JRCC, look, they're happy with this trade. This is fine. TDD is happy to die for a Baron. Still has the flash. He may be able to get out. Flashes away from the Ornhorn. I think he's out of there. Puts down the W. Pops the pillar as well. Thin can't quite get the kill. TDD escapes, and they get the Baron. He's just going to recall in the bush. He does not care. JRCC is winning all over the map. They got the Baron. Malzahar is pushing in on the top side. Trundle recalling, going to push back in on the bot side after this. Yeah, you're right. They played it well in the lanes. Orn got a couple kills early, but facing down Soul, facing down Baron, facing down a 12k gold lead. Malevolent backs are absolutely against the wall.
They are, and this is where JRCC is just going to do a 4-1. Simple, keep the Trundle with the pressure, probably on the bot side, because that's where Elder's going to be spawning. So you just kind of sit here, push the lanes in. Elder's up in, 3 minutes and 40 seconds? So that's going to be the next move. If you're JRCC, you're thinking about, okay, we need to close this game out. We need to make this a no-doubter, and then try to carry that off into the next game. Whereas MVE, you got to get the right team fight. Obviously, trying to get 3 or 4 people on Trundle down a lane is not the way to go. So try catching somebody else out, maybe the MF, maybe the Malzahar. You just got to look for a good turtle pick here.
Yeah, if you can find some kind of a pick, again, onto the Trundle, TDD has proven himself to be a little bit catchable so far this game. Although the KDA has even back out to 4-4-4, as King Vivi maybe looked for a pick there, doesn't quite find it. I do want to also shout out something you mentioned in Champ Select is that I've been seeing them doing really well is JRCC playing around vision so effectively, right? The way that King Vivi clears out bushes, stands in, knows that MVE is going to have to face check him on an objective and uses that to get picks before the objectives. You see now, looking at their macro again, they are pushing in on 2 lanes. That is 2 inhibitors going to fall to these Baron of Candyman. Is King Vivi going in? Hits the bandage toss, gonna walk out, knows it's the Wukong clone this time, not gonna make the same mistake twice. Lucifer a little bit cut off from the team. Malzahar now pushing in on the top side as well. This is a 3-lane push from JRCC. They say they want to end the game right here. They do not need Elder. Ornhorn is down. King Vivi not gonna get quite hit by it, goes in. The Wukong is already down. That's one of the huge tools. Bullet time comes out, stopped by the knockup from the Orn, but Sushi gonna fall as well. And the Curse of the Sad Mummy is still yet to be used. Actually gets charged up, maybe not gonna get to use it. Hits a 2-man before he dies. Alright, gets a shutdown, but there is nothing Malevolent Esports Eclipse can do to stop the Jolly Rogers Calypso, as they are going to take game 1 of this best of 3.
Really well played. After the early overstep from Trundle, everything else went their way. And even when he died, he made it so that they had to chase him and they had to do everything at JRCC, just cleaning up the rest of the map. Like I was saying in Champ Select and in the draft, I love to see a split push work, and they worked it almost to perfection. So really, really well done on the side of CC. Interested to see what they pull out for game 2. And then if you're MVE, you just got to shake this one off and get on to the next one and just play to your strengths and play your game the way that you were doing it in the first 7 minutes of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's some big gameplay or you know, like decision-making error from like a general like draft standpoint for Malevolent, right? It's just a sort of like, look, we lost a couple of early team fights. They snowballed on us till we got to a point where we couldn't outscale, right? We picked the scaling team comp. We couldn't get to 30 minutes. They beat us in a couple of early fights that we maybe haphazardly took. Go back to the drawing board of just say, hey, nothing wrong with the style. We played our lanes okay. That is really quite crazy. Trundle was hitting turrets all game. But as you said from JRCC, right? Awesome to see that in one game they could show us that they could both split push with their top laner, right? Mm-hmm. Totally comfortable to split push, but also win the team fights on the other side, right? King Vivi and his shot calling, the way that he would go and the way he was using those ultimates in the team fights, really, really commendable. And I would love to see more team fighting from these two teams.
Yeah, no, and it was really, really well done. Almost every time there had to have been somebody in those comms just saying like, all right, Braum Shield, Braum Shield, Braum Shield. And as soon as it's down, you would see Amumu just flash in, Curse of the Sad Mummy, get in there. And then anybody who tried to step up to get to the MF, like, I know they're playing a Protect the Jinx comp, but nobody touched MF. Lucifer, 707 on this MF and got every bullet time with the exception of the last one. So really, really well done on that for all of the CC that I love to tout so much in these leagues. Just really, really well done on the side of JRCC. That was an impressive game 1 win.
Yeah, really, really, really solid stuff from JRCC, proving why they 2-0'd week 1. We saw glimmers of hope from Malevolent, the top side, playing really well. Sushi did great work in a really pretty terrible matchup early game, found a lot of advantages. We saw good things from just about every player in Malevolent. We've seen that they have the potential. They got to go back to the drawing board, work out a couple of the kinks in the decision making, come back with a clean mental, ready for this game 2. We're going to do the same thing here on the broadcast. Stick around, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with game 2. Hello and welcome back to the Gladiator League Week 2. Jolly Rogers, Calypsos, Calamity versus Malevolent Esports, Eclipse. If you missed game 1, JRCC took a really convincing lead in the early game, ran it all the way through to the end, and really kind of stomped. So, Fel, what are you looking for here in the game 2 drafts?
In the game 2 drafts, I would like to see Sushi on a playmaker, somebody that can match that kind of intensity from TDD. I don't think giving him another split pusher like a Yorick or even like a that's going to be able to take down towers like super easily is necessarily a bad thing, but I do think you should give Sushi the ability to fight him and to be able to match him. Right, like we saw him kill him solo almost twice, early on. So it's doable. I want to see a playmaker on Sushi, and then I want to see JRCC not overcommit their momentum from game 1. You won game 1, but it starts out 0-0, and it's really easy in these types of situations where you just absolutely stomped them and did what you wanted to try to play from ahead when you're actually tied.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. It starts out 0-0. It's a complete blank slate, right? We are fearless drafts, so some of those picks that we saw in game 1 will be out of the pool for game 2. But yeah, you're starting from exactly the same spot, right? You have to build up those advantages again from 0. And again, we saw some pretty good laning on the side of Malevolent. I would like to see maybe like a winning lane matchup or 2, right? I do think that'll give Finn maybe the ability to make some more plays in the jungle if we keep him on a playmaking pick. Like, I know it won't be the Wukong, but like a Vi or a Jarvan or that sort of thing, Xin Zhao, keep him on a playmaking pick. But yeah, I think a winning lane matchup for Sushi, who we saw, honestly, winning lane in a horrible matchup. I think something like that would be really great, as I believe we'll be able to get into draft fairly soon, as players are almost all the way through their draft for game 2. Again, fearless means that all of those power picks will be out, as we see. We saw a lot of interesting bans. We didn't really get a chance to talk about it as the draft happened kind of oddly, but there were some interesting, like, I think, sort of one trick or a pocket pick bans. Yeah, and there was like an ASOL and a Fizz band, I think, from Malevolent as well. We'll have to wait and see if we see the same things for game 2. Yep, there's Fizz.
Yeah, there's the Fizz ban. I guess that O is known for that, so take that away. In these types of leagues, somebody that's like a one-trick Vlad can literally just take it over because he has 1,000 games on it. Even though he's platinum and below, that kind of level of comfort that comes with playing champions like that just is way more important than trying to stick to your meta and stuff like that. So we see the Sivir and the ASOL and the Vi taken out for CC. Finn actually did a really good job trying to keep the tempo and make the plays early on. He was ahead of King Vivi early on, so I like the Pantheon pick coming out here. Going to try to set up some plays and just control the tempo. Hopefully he can control it past minute 8.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been struck with a couple rounds of nerfs, but still an incredibly powerful jungler, especially, again, looking for these plays, as we said. Seems like maybe Ashe locked in for JRCC as well as the response. Maybe looking for another lane dominant pick, right? We liked seeing Lucifer on a sort of pushing lane dominant AD carry. We got that in the Misfortune. Get it again in the Ashe. Be really, really nice.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who they pair with the Ashe. I know like Melio or even a Lulu, but you could also go tank and you could have multiple sets of engage for the late times. As we see the Kaisa Nautilus. This is just a powerhouse. And the teenager Rel coming out for Rexivis here. So he's going to be off the Enchanter on an engage in a tank. So this is going to be a completely different playstyle for the bot lanes, especially. It's going to be engage heavy, not disengage for the side of MVE, and it's going to be a match on that. So it's going to be sort of like a decision-making matchup between the Ashe and Rel versus the Nautilus Kaisa.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love Kaisa paired with the Pantheon as well. I think the Killer Instinct hopping in on that Pantheon W from long range. Like we have the trappings of a really, really good pick comp. I also want to talk about Diana over here, presumably for King Vivi, another AP, but I'm assuming jungle Diana, another AP jungler with good engage potential, sort of sticking to his roots.
Yeah, and you still have the same flash ult potential to just knock everybody down. You won't have the bullet time follow-up, but she does enough AoE damage on her own. The damage output's going to be there. Just have to hope that if she either goes for Zhonya's or she stay alive long enough, as we're going to see the Morgana come out for the side of MVE, which I like that as an answer to the Diana. But does that mean that's a Pantheon top?
It could be. There's a couple of flexes, kind of triple flex here.
Yeah.
Pantheon, Gwen, and Morgana all can go in the jungle. I do know that Morgana mid has been rising in popularity, especially on the last couple patches. So I'm kind of expecting potentially a Morgana mid, something like that, into the Vigar. Now that we see from Indame giving him maybe a little more potential. He didn't get the flex on the Malzahar pick too much, right? Ended up he played great, but ended up somewhat a passenger in that game one. Maybe we could see him being a little more of the primary threat on the Vigar.
Yeah, and this actually might be a Nautilus jungle. I've been seeing it a lot in these kind of leagues, and they did buff it to the jungle, so it's actually really exciting to see. So if that's a Morgana
four-way jungle flex,
yeah, if that's a Kai'Sa Morgana bot lane, that'd be, good. It'd be kind of like the same passive thing they did last time, but they're not going up against an enchanter this time. So any damage that you do and any trades you make, that's your health bar at that point. So it'll be interesting to see where all of these go. We know the Morgana jungle clear is absolutely insane. It's almost a guaranteed grubs if you get there on time. And then we have the Scion, which another split pusher, super tanky, real big pain to deal with, and it is going to be the Diana. It's going to be the Morgana mid, like you called. So interesting into the Veigar. I don't hate it, but I don't really love it. There's just not enough playmaking ability on it. But if somebody gets overextended, i.e. the Pantheon jumping in, they'll at least be able to shield them out of the Veigar wall and stuff like that. But
yeah, true. I do think the sort of we'll end up with another pretty passive mid lane matchup in the same way that we did last game, right? We had the sort of both our mid laners are just farming, the action's happening around us. We could have a similar thing happening this game with Morgana and Vigar, but Diana, I kind of I worry, the mid jungle damage spread is obviously very AP heavy, but I like the idea of the Diana jungle for King Vivi based on what we saw with him playing the Amumu, right? We saw AP jungler, strong clear, pretty solid early ganks, early looks, and great team fighting with his ultimate, right? Great use of the big wombo combo engage ultimates, and that's kind of what Diana does too.
Right, and now you're going to have the Ashe to help set you up. If they get into a corridor, that first person the Ashe ult hits, Diana just hops on top of him and just goes to town, and her damage is going to be just about as good, if not better, than the MF's damage all on her own. One thing that I would like to see from MVE is I know that you guys lost the first game and stuff, but you got to put that one in the back of your head and play this one just like JRCC has to remember they're not winning yet. So I do like the comp from the side of MVE. I'm glad to see Sushi on the Gwen, who's going to be able to should be able to bully the Scion. If not, then TDD is just the GOAT, right? If you can't beat him with the Gwen, I'll be interested to see if a Mage Eyes comes out, or at least the Dark Seal, because Scion is really hard to get away from Gwen 3-6, and you can stack up some kills pretty quickly on her.
Yeah, it's kind of the inverse of the match we saw last game, right? Trundle into Ornn, TDD on the sort of tank busting top lane lethal tempo pick, whereas now Sushi gets the time to show his agency right into the Scion and maybe gets a little split push potential of his own, right? Gwen can be a powerful split push threat, also incredible in team fights, more so than Trundle, I would say, right? Has more potential to put in the work and carry his team through team fights and consistent damage, but can be a split push threat if the team needs it.
Yeah, and the Scion also, if things are going well for the rest of your back in knocking down towers and being a pain in the side lane, having will come for you, and having flashes and everything else to try to stop your ult, or they just lose objectives or not. And Gwen is the strong one. Sion can at least hold the wave off. He can, protect the tower, and he can join the team fights from halfway across the map, either via teleport or the ult. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting top lane matchup. I still would like to see Finn head up there and get Gwen enabled, kind of like he tried to do, but Sushi was just doing it on his own, so wasted time when we go up there and dead already. But yeah, I'd like to see Thin heading up. I want to see like a Thin Sushi just taking over this game. I think that's the win con for MVE. The rest of your team is going to scale and do fine, and as long as Trainer Gain does what they're supposed to do on this Kai'Sa, not go AP, please, then I think
with this damage spread. I completely, if you go AP Kai'Sa here, this is like the most Merc Tread value I've ever seen in my life on JRCC. It's already the most Merc Tread value I've ever seen in my life, but specifically go AP Kai'Sa. Yeah, I completely agree. I think that the pressure is kind of on Thin in this game, right? To be the playmaker, to be the driving factor in this game. Pantheon spikes so hard, so early, that you want to be running around the map, making these plays, getting picks, especially with a comp like this, right? Morgana, Pantheon, Kai'Sa, Nautilus is like, pick you off before the objective so easily, like at the press of a button. And so the vision control that we saw last game from JRCC is kind of the thing I want Malevolent to be doing, right? Setting up vision around the objectives, moving towards the objective, hiding in a bush, baiting you in, Pantheon jump, Kai'Sa jump, Nautilus jump, right? This sort of thing, like getting these picks before objectives, I think ends up, like at the end of the day, is on Thin. It is on Thin to be making these plays, to be calling the shots. We saw him trying to make the plays last game, right? There were a couple of really valiant attempts where like, maybe they're just down too much gold, but he gets in there with a Wukong Angler, or gets in there, they don't quite have the vision, they're a little outnumbered, like Adame's on the roam before Lokaeth, right? Things like that. But Finn has the right idea, and I think we just need to see him coming out strong early with the playmaking.
Not strong early, and then one bad thing about Pantheon is he does tend to fall off, so he's gonna have to move in from that to the peel and like quick engage and everything else. Once Morgana gets 2 or 3 items, just getting hit by her pool is gonna burn a lot of health away from the Veigar, these champions, the Ashe, everything else, and a well-timed Black Shield can completely negate the Ashe ult and all the other engaged that JRCC have. So a lot of this is going to be on Kaith to just, manage everything from minute 20 and on. They're not going in for just the protect the Jinx. They want to engage. They want to take the team fights when they want to. And then, as you were saying earlier, Gwen is split pushing and winning. You basically have the same win con that JRCC had game 1. It's all going so easy to pull off. You just let her do her thing, pressure everywhere else. If not, Gwen in a team fight is absolutely insane. So interested to see how this one goes. I really the change in direction that and gone over. JRCC sort of still has like the same option available to them, but I think this is going to be a team fight oriented game, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
Absolutely, and we have got to get into this game because I'm seeing spoilers posted in chat by Jolly Rogers saying we've got a wild invade of some kind. So here we go as we are hopping onto the Rift for game 2 of Jolly Rogers Calypsos. If it can be as brief errors, we should be in the game in just a second.
Sugar just wanted to show himself. Big shout out to our producer doing double duty here tonight. Woo!
As here we go, looking at the potential invade. Pantheon strong on the invade as well as Nautilus. We'll have to see if it's Malevolent looking for the invade. I imagine it is. Grouping up in the bot side going into the bush. Lucifer, will he face check? No, probably sees them in the, maybe didn't see them. Oh, but the dredge line goes just wide. Doesn't connect on Lucifer. The Dark Binding does, though. We're gonna flash in from Thin, hits him with the W, empowered. Exhaust is down. Barrier popped as well. Lucifer flashes of the wall, not quite gonna find a kill, but pop the barrier and the flash on the Ashe level 1. That's worth it.
Yeah, that's really rough. Lokaeth had the right idea. The rest team did not. Now you have Q on Morgana, so she's going to fall behind on that wave clear that's so strong for her. Level 1, that's one way to beat a Veigar is to just shove him into his turret nonstop and not let him play the game, make roams and stuff. But that's not going to be available to him. But you did get the flash barrier out of the Ashe. All you wasted was a flash on your Pantheon, which by the time it's ready to gank, it'll be back up hopefully, and an exhaust on the Nautilus. So.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if Thin can maybe make a return gank down on the bot side, punish the Ashe for the being flashless, but honestly, I kind of doubt it. As you said, by the time Pantheon's looking to gank, the flashes might be back up anyway, so maybe sort of a no harm, no foul thing, and the biggest impact may be that Goliath had to start Q.
Yeah, there's that, and I kind of want to see Noble be a little bit more aggressive into this now. As we said before, there's no enchanter on Reximus. Any trades that you make, that they're going to be impactful and put each person on the same health as both. They hit level 2 first. There it is.
Yeah, we see them going aggressive, just as you said. They hit level 2, walk up with the dredge line, take all of Reximus's health. Kaisa popping the plasma, getting all 5 stacks. Reximus does hit level 2, heals back up a little bit, pops both of the pots, has flash and exhaust. Notably, both bot laners took exhaust cleanse on the Kaisa as opposed to the barrier, but really strong start from Kaisa Nautilus lane that honestly should not be getting the push if it weren't for the level 1 situation.
Right. Yeah, and it'll come back to them now. We see Morgana trying to poke down with her pool instead of just shoving the minion wave. But a really strong start from the side of MVE here. I like what I'm seeing. Build that confidence back up. You have the Gwen shoving in top side, everything. So.
Absolutely. It's kind of exactly what you said, right? Playing with the confidence straight from the get-go, right? Not playing like they're already down. As we see Sushi down a little bit of health here to the Scion early, and Diana did path up top lane. Sushi might be in trouble, actually gets hit with the E. Oh my god, and the W explosion didn't take flash, and the Gwen gonna fall. First blood goes to TDD. I think you were right in Champ Select. He might just be the GOAT as we got more action with the bot side. Reximus going in, Trainer Gains exhausted up, has to flash and cleanse out. Noble still in there. Has a flash, doesn't need it. Reximus popped the flash and exhaust, but got both the sums off of the Kaisa as well. We got action happening all over the map, Phil.
Yeah, and Ashe still has her barrier. That's really, really bad. But now we see King V coming up here. Bad teleport from Sushi. She's gonna get caught out. Oh, just a little bit. And like you were saying, she took Ghost, but Scion didn't even use his flash to get that kill. So that's just that feels really, really, really bad if you're the Gwen there. But this bot lane over from MVE doing a really, really good job here. Taking the freeze. They do know that Ashe is backing here, Rel is backing here. So any chance that they get, they need to make sure that they're not letting this Ashe up forward.
Yeah, absolutely. A good play from Reximus did sort of not quite even, but exchange the summoners again, right? Took a little bit of the pressure off of the Ashe, but yeah, Malevolent bot lane coming out strong, playing aggressive the way we want to see. The overstep from Sushi in the top lane will be really punishing. This is the matchup you really, really wanted to win. Thought you would have like kind of perma push in, but may go a little bit the other way, as we'll see. Still trading up at the top lane, just a Giant's Belt for TDD. Not a ton of more kill threat, but just ability to get through the lane, right? Saying, hey, I don't really have to be afraid of you for a while.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And mid lane going about as we expected, but
Yep.
Yeah, Scion getting that kill. He's got to be feeling himself right now. TDD's just got to be grinning from ear to ear, being like, guys, don't screw this up. We win this if we just don't mess this up.
And that is kind of the JRCC gameplay in this game, right? It's almost like the roles have swapped from last game, where we saw last game, it felt like the onus was on JRCC and on King Vivi to make plays early to avoid the scaling from Malevolent, but it's flipped, right? We've got a Vigar and a Scion on JRCC. We are so happy to sit back and scale up this game, and getting an early kill in that lane, almost exactly the same as happened last game, but flip with the teams, is a great way to alleviate that pressure.
Yeah, it totally is. And one thing that I like from the side of JRCC that you just mentioned is, if you're going to have a scaling comp, have multiple scalers, right? Wukong doesn't scale. The Ornn does well in team fights, but he's not going to be doing everything that you want. So really good job. If you're going to have scalers, have scalers. And Ashe is a really good late game ADC. You have the Scion, who's going to scale forever, along with the Veigar as Now, MVE is actually, once again, early dragon. Can they push this over to an early grubs as well?
Yeah, we'll see. The grubs will be interesting if they can get it. We'll see if the supports roam up or not. The Ocean Drake does go the way of Malevolent, as you said, mostly based off really strong pushing mid laner, bot laner that won out in a couple of early trades. Easy to get that first dragon, probably about what was expected from both of these teams. But the grubs will be the more interesting contest. We'll see if these supports want to take a base soon and head up towards that top side. As we see Pantheon. Pantheon will take a base soon. Diana just coming out from one clearing bot to top. Both junglers should be in the area, but the top lane matchup, it's interesting to know like who will even be stronger for the grub side. Is Sushi taking a lot of damage here in the top lane again. Ooh, a little action on the bot side though. Wrexham is caught up by the dredge line. Exhaust pop. This Rel has no flash, but Pantheon does. Flash came back up after the level 1 flashes in, hits the W onto the Rel, and Wrexamus is down. Kill goes into the pockets of Thin on the Pantheon.
Right, and I love that he used the exhaust onto her. Oh, or fighting. Sushi popping the ult.
Yeah.
TDD.
Needlework goes in onto the Scion. That's an easy kill. This Gwen does so much damage. Has to pop the Ghost to get away from the passive at the end of the day. Will escape, but look, that more than evens up this top lane matchup, and Malevolent is back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and you know, way ahead on CS, gonna crash the. It's gonna so much here. He's not doing the greatest job of CSing into this Gwen. It looks like he's more trying to fight the Gwen instead of actually like CS and that stuff. So really good job by the Gwen. He is gonna ult back to lane, basically a free teleport. His teleport is also still up, so I don't know what he's holding it for, but that's a huge escape tool that's gonna be out from him now, as we see both teams are sort of moving around to these grubs, and this is something that I really want to see. Rel is moving up to the grubs. As soon as they see her, Nautilus needs to jump on this instantly. If you can win one of the smites for one of the grubs and prevent that 3 grub advantage, that's huge, especially if you can kill the ADC on the bot side at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Important to note, as you said, Ashe very vulnerable in this moment. Lucifer's flash was popped again in that bot lane skirmish by Thin. As you see, Rel, I'm not sure she's shown on vision yet, but at this point they have to know that she is in the top side. These grubs are melting down to the Diana. Thin doesn't seem to even want to contest. Pantheon is down to the bot side, does have the Grand Starfall if he wants to look for a dive. This wave is fairly stacked. They have all ultimates. Lucifer's only level 5. I would look for a dive here if I were them. We see Morgana roaming down as well. Lucifer stuck under the tower. They see that the Void Grubs have been slain, but they don't seem quite ready to go for the dive yet. Enchanted Crystal Arrow now available for Lucifer, as here it comes. Dredge line is in. So is the depth charge. Lucifer has no way out. Thin grabs another kill on the Pantheon, 3-1, favoring Malevolent.
Yeah, that was really well done. As soon as they see that, you have to, if they did not pull the trigger on that, that would be completely illegal. So as expected, pull that off. As soon as you see Rel isn't in lane, that has to happen. So well done. Ashe did whatever she could. Did a pretty good job. Almost got one back. But you know, 4-man dive basically is just, it's hard to defend that, and you really don't have anywhere.
Yeah, and this Ashe is set so far behind from that too, right? It didn't miss a ton of minions, but another death on the bot side. Rel behind as well. Now, none of the kills have gone to the Kaisa, which is important as far as the bot lane matchup goes, but the grubs for the life of the AD carry trade, how do we feel about that if we're JRCC? It prevents a little bit of the split push win con from Gwen, yeah?
Yeah, no, totally. You're going to take that. As soon as you decide that, hey, you get the cross map play, and that's something that seems very often. Ooh, the flash burned out from TDD, but he's going to stay. Sushi's going to give her life for.
Yeah, we'll see. Sushi goes back in, hits a snip. Oh, but the Diana is here. King Vivi with the gank at exactly the right time. TDD will live, and Sushi will not. Overextended, getting a little greedy on the Gwen, and Diana picks up the kill.
Yeah, and I don't know how much I love this idea from MVE not to be sending Thin up top more. Gwen gets the solo kill after making a mistake level 1, tied up. She was up like 20 CS, I think it was, at one point. That's your win con right there. You know, Kaisa is all well and good, but Morgana supporty, and Gwen is going to be able to take this over.
Another Q hits from the Nautilus. Yeah, Rel going in this time, and the Magnum Storm pops the exhaust as well. But the depth charge means Rel is just going to fall. Oh, and another Drench Line hits. That is a flashless Ashe. Kaisa already used the Killer Instinct, but Lucifer taken very low. King Vivi is here for the counter gank. Ooh, good flash away from Trainer Gain. Noble may fall, though, to the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Great counter gank from King Vivi, trying to pick a kill back up. Lands the Q. Not quite in E range. Kaisa going to make the escape. Barely in the bot side, but action all over the bot side is not quite done yet. See, Lokiath is here, pops the ultimate. King Vivi gonna get stunned up at the end of this. Vigar here as well, though. Adame gonna grab an easy kill on the Lokiath. There is blood spilled on the spot side. Then trying to get away best he can. Has the flash if he needs it. Will use it to get away from this Vigar. 4 kills to 4 now. JRCC fighting back.
Yeah, and that's just a gift right there. There's no reason to fight that without your Nautilus, without everything there. A little bit too quick of a trigger. I like the aggression from the side of MVE, but a little bit too early. This is when you should have won.
Yeah, and here's the re-engage. JRCC looks like they want the fight. Diana going in, doesn't. Backside maybe picks up the Ashe. Lucifer just barely gets out as Reximus takes on the Pantheon. Health bar so low for JRCC. They are going to pick up another one, a solo kill on the top side as well while all this is happening. Good re-engage from Malevolent. Dragon went to JRCC, but again, this is a bloody start to game 2.
Yeah, I told you before we started, these leagues are awesome for this. It's going to be fighting all over the place. You're getting your money's worth tonight. So, good. I mean, good re-engage. They should have had the knock there. They should have just waited it out, on the dragon instead of going for that fight in the tri-brush. But they end up getting the fight that they wanted because JRCC, instead of just backing away with the objective and being happy, they end up going. So, now it looks like they're going to try to punish again here.
Yeah, we may be in for a little bit more. Rel has flash, has ult if she needs it. Ashe R will connect onto the Nautilus. Not quite on the Kaisa. Flashing in a little late from Reximus. Noble hits the ultimate onto the Rel. Forced to use the Diana ult. Will probably grab the Nautilus. Oh, maybe not. Oh, there we go. It does fall at the very end. Death Charge hit onto the wall. Maybe he was going to escape with a little Spider-Man swing. But Kaisa gets out. That's the important part. Diana picks up another kill, though. 2-0-3 now. As Sushi really starting to punish on the top side. Back up 20 CS, as you mentioned earlier. He's got his lead back. He got the solo kill. He's feeling himself. More action, though it does not stop. Vigar flashes out of the way of Thin on the Pantheon, but he is dead anyway. Adame falls in the mid lane as TDD maybe pushed up a little too far. Sushi kind of proc the Conqueror, walk up on him, doesn't have the needlework, might not need it, can't quite cut him down. Bot side turret plates are falling. You were absolutely right, Fel. It is action packed down here in Gladiator.
Yeah, it is, and at some point Noble's gonna, if they were landing right now, how many times are you gonna have me take arrows for you and then not follow up? Just completely. Oh,
he's flashing in, lands a good hook onto the Rel. Killer Instinct comes out from Trader Gain, but just not quite enough damage. Can't get the last proc of Plasma onto the Rel, and there's a teleport coming to the bot side now as well. Adame wants to pick up a kill if he can, maybe a little over aggressive as Pantheon coming in with the Grand Starfall. Everybody is in this bot lane. This is where all the action is happening. No kills this time. Couple of ultimates, couple of teleports. It just doesn't stop.
Doesn't, and that's a huge win for the side of MVE because they're going to get mid tower here more than likely. If not, Trader Gain and Noble should be able to take this out. Lucifer is going to ult, but he has no mana, no follow-up. So, another binding landing on Vagar. Lokiath on this Morgana is hitting a lot of really, really hard skill shots.
Yeah, he's really sniping Adame in this match. I mean, we see it time and again. That Q misses a little. -1 on the cannon as King Vivi now here. We'll see Black Shield may have to be used. Nope, flashes away from the E. Uses the Black Shield maybe a little preemptively, doesn't quite dodge the stun, gets killed there at the end. Kill does go over to Adame, but more fighting in the bot side. Thin is back down here. The tower falls. Reximus will be soon to follow. Lucifer left on his lonesome, but another kill going over to Malevolent, this time finally in the hands of the Kaisa. Now 3-0-2, working towards that second item very quickly. This Kaisa is incredibly accelerated.
Yeah, and they're looking for a mid play here too. So this is just going to be nonstop. They're just trying to push. Every time the JRCC makes a play, right, Malevolent is just on the other side, ready to make them pay for it. So, this is the kind of back and forth that I expected out of this in game 1, and we're getting it here. Also, the first turret taken by MVE on the bot side, so do get the warfare and then boots as well. Let's see where the macro ends up going from here. This is kind of where MVE was last game. I think they're a little bit better off this time.
Yeah.
But this is kind of where they were last game, and then just kind of fell apart. So interested to see what happens here. They're doing well. They just need to keep up this pressure and just these good fights that they're getting, and just keep making them.
Yeah, you're right. Not at a similar position. Dragons 1-1. Herald and Grubs both went the way of JRCC. King Vivi also, as you said, making those cross-map plays, right? Both of these junglers, we can see their playmaking ability. We can see why they are ranked as the number 1 and 2 junglers in the league. Wrexham slick little escape using the Hex Gates there. Finn not willing to let him go that quietly. Going to jump in onto King Vivi. Oh, King Vivi into the backline, forces the flash of the Kai'Sa. Half health on Trainer again as well. Vivi will maybe be able to get out. Not quite. Magnustorm in onto 3 from Wrexham though. And Pantheon the first one to fall to the Vygar. Noble will be soon to follow. Sushi teleports in though on the Gwen. See if he can clean up with the backside. A little needlework popped. Diana gonna fall very quickly. Shut down gold going over to the Gwen. Needlework hitting all into the middle. Lokiath misses that Q, but Sushi is healing up through this. Does not care. Willing to keep pushing forwards. Kai'Sa has the killer instinct. He wants to go back in. Adame almost full health on the Vygar. Still a bloody fight. 2 down for Malevolent though means that the Dragon, neither team can start it up. We're going to reset and run right back and fight it again.
Yeah, and at the same time, TDD getting the top turret. So when you can't get the objective on the bot side and you force the TP out of the Gwen, you know, get something for it. And JRCC back to what they were doing in game, pushing this wave, creating the pressure. And he may not have TP advantage, but he does have ult advantage where he'll be able to back, and then he'll be able to ult into the team fight and be ready to go if needed, where Sushi will be stuck up on the top lane.
That's true. Gwen used the teleport the first time. Didn't quite get the Dragon, but Wrexham is overextended here on the Rel. Caught behind enemy lines, trying to place vision set up for the Dragon. May end up giving it over instead. Malevolent quick to pounce on that. And I love how decisively these teams are playing, right? As soon as they see an enemy champion, they jump. This TP might not be the best, as Adame caught in the middle of 4 members. TP's in just to die alongside his tower. Thin tanks up a couple of tower shots, but it doesn't matter. Giving over another free kill right before the Dragon, as well as King Vivi pops himself into the Herald. Maybe interesting, gonna slam into the tier 2, but may actually end up punished for it. We'll see if he can get out. Yeah, Lokiath not quite gonna chase. They have their sights set on their second Dragon during this, as King Vivi still behind enemy lines. Not quite sure what the escape plan is here for the Diana, as the rest of the team coming in, collapsing. King Vivi may be able to get out to the mid lane. Grand Starfall comes in. They're trying to cut off the escape path. Then not quite able to find a flash in. Not at W range yet. Finds a W at the end of the day. Flash in from Noble as well. Diana hits the ultimate onto 3, but will pop at the start of this fight. Lucifer and Wrexham is not going to be able to deal enough damage to clean that up. That's another kill. JRCC is given over 3, and the Dragon fell. It's a disaster.
Yeah, and these are the mental boons that Malevolent was on, and now JRCC is paying them back with this forward. You know, they're still not like out of it yet. You see the gold lead is only 500 gold on the side of MVE. You still have
very even.
The Grubs, and you still have Sushi overextending. You still have everybody just looking for that next engage, that next piss fight that they can take, and just trying to get any little advantage. It just seems like one team makes them, they pay for it, and then the next team follows up and just gives it to them. So this back and forth is so awesome to see. The non-stop action, not the cleanest thing to watch, but but it's definitely, you know, interesting. And this is going to come down probably until the end. There's probably fight at the end with absolute sides.
Yeah, for sure. And when you are scrapping to this extent, right, it will at the end of the day just be a hands diff, right? With the team that comes out on top, like, team comps matter. Yes, these gold leads matter, and then they're small, but these advantages, lane advantages matter. But at the end of the day, who executes in the team fight better will probably end up winning the game. And so we'd love to see a full 5v5. We'll see if TDD wants to group for this next objective. The Otacon has spawned on the bot side of the map, obviously, where all of the kills are happening. 12-9 is the kill score, but as you pointed out, gold lead only about 500 for the side of Malevolent. They do have some important item power spikes, though. We see 2 items on the Kaisa compared to 1.5 on the Ashe is the important one. Now, 2 on the Vigar as well compared to 1.5 on the Morgana. As Thin may have overextended, walked in, looking to get some vision. Gets the black shield on him, though. May actually be able to escape. Spell immune for a while. Doesn't even need the flash to get out. And now Reximus gets caught with the Nautilus Q at the end of the day. Sushi teleports in, and they're going to push the advantage back. Thin got out by the skin of his teeth, and they pick up 2 kills. Malevolent turns the tide of the fight just at the very last second. Thin falls to the Scion. That may be doomed for their ability to start the Otacon. They may not be able to do it without their jungler. Couple of flashes blown. Adama has to flash out. King BB still has the ult, clearly wants a play. He is begging them to start this Otacon. Place the control ward. Not quite gonna find the pick. They're stuck inside the Vigar cage. Gonna get out. Sushi's safe for now, but neither team really ready to start this Otacon with Thin dead at the moment. Hawkshot gonna find Malevolent backing. Ooh, BB wants it so bad. You could feel him wanting to engage.
Yeah, and the one thing that we do have for the side of Malevolent is when he engages like that, he is killable. It's not like he's on this super tanky Amumu. As Rectum is going back in again, they are just face checking a lot. And one thing that happened in that fight that really turned the tide for when TDD teleported in instantly, or when Sushi teleported in instantly, went to the other side of the Scion. Scion tried to ult out and ended up hitting the Gwen while she had her bubble up, so no fight able to happen. Is another fight for you to call.
Yeah, we're back in the action. The support trade going the other way. This time, Noble, the one overextended. Lokai now caught in the middle of the pit, doesn't have a flash. No way out of this. 2 members from Malevolent completely overextended and caught out. That Otacon is going to drop to JRCC, and this is exactly how you throw the lead you have for Malevolent.
Yeah, oh man, and you have a 506 Kaisa that's just ready to fight, ready to carry a team fight, and just on the wrong side. Morgana getting stuck between TDD and the rest of JRCC there. Really unfortunate for Lokai. Just bad play, just not paying attention to where everybody is, and we're seeing it from both sides. Just face checking the tribe rush. We see, TDD teleporting way too deep into an already lost team fight. So, both teams are doing it. It be who makes the mistake that matters the most when it's all said and done. Is now we have 4 on the top side where they're going to try to take 2 here and give up the dragon.
Yeah, they're saying, hey, we're fine to give you a second dragon for JRCC. We're going to push down these towers, really overloading the top side. Nautilus, actually, the one left out of the bot side to maybe contest the dragon, which is a little bit funny. But the wave gets cleared so easily by Scion. They do force the teleport out of the Vigar, but now they just have to turn and run. They're giving the dragon for free. They got 1 tower off of it, but I'm not quite sure that's worth. This is a dragon that you absolutely could have contested if you're Malevolent. Nautilus now going to walk up, see if maybe there's a late contest possible. The rest of the team is here, and Chanacoaster Arrow lands on a Nautilus, so King BB first one to go in. Grand Starfall into the backline, though. Thin catches him. Gwen hits an ultimate at the very last second. Needlework coming out. Oh, Scion charging in, though. Knocks up 2 with the ultimate. Reximus is down. Scion in the middle of everyone, and it doesn't matter. King BB has fallen. Lucifer has retreated. The damage on JRCC is nowhere to be found. They don't pick up a single kill, giving over 3 to Malevolent. They did get the dragon, but these teams are not content to just take objectives, Fel. They want to fight afterwards.
No, they just want to make it as thing as possible. I at first I was like, somebody made the call. Actually ended up being a good call. Sushi was right there on the Gwen. Pantheon ult coming in, so it's almost like what you normally see with teams with like a Galio comp, where they're like, no man, just go.
Yeah.
and we're gonna turn this around. Like, be the good guy, give up your life, and Nautilus or Noble on this Nautilus barely made it out alive there. But good call from the side of Malevolent. When you have a comp that can just, pull the trigger, that's what you're going to end up getting is Rexman's caught out again, but
Yeah, and here they're going to do it one more time, pulling the trigger onto the rail. It does get out the crash down for now. Has flash available as well. Second dredge line not going to connect, just barely from Noble. I like the look. This is an aggressive Nautilus, and this is exactly what we wanted to see from them, right? Trading again is up so much gold. He's so huge on the Kaisa that Noble feels totally fine to just go in, hit any snap Q engage he can. He knows that Pantheon and Kaisa will be somewhere pretty close behind him to follow up.
yeah, and you have follow-up damage. Like everywhere that he goes, he has the follow-up damage, and so it's basically like just ingrained there. Like I love this pick so much now that I see him on it, because he is doing basically everything correct on this Nautilus. Maybe a little bit of better awareness, maybe one too many thrown out.
Maybe neither support is allowed to walk into the tri-bush from now on. Maybe we just make that rule, and then it's like fine.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. Maybe we'll get it in game 3 where we see 7 deaths over a Vision Ward in the tri-brush, but that's my favorite things to see in these leagues. As both teams just try to, contest over Baron. You do have Gwen and both have teleport ready to go. So we'll see if anybody wants to pull the trigger here, but I would like to see a little bit of tempo push on the top lane as well before either team decides to pull the trigger on this fight before Baron.
Yeah, absolutely. Something I would love to see is maybe if they could try and push the advantage in the side lane a little bit more. Maybe you move Thin down, try and make a play onto the Scion, because both Thin and Sushi can make it back up for the cross mop on the Baron if they need to, right? Grand Starfall is what makes Pantheon such an incredible jungle play, that he has presence everywhere. And I want to see this Gwen pushing her advantage a little bit more in the side lane. So far, just like seems very content to teleport in, group for the team fights, but actually looks like losing out on the trades in the side lane. So maybe I'll eat my words. Maybe shouldn't push up too far. Might just die to the Scion.
Yeah, Scion's just kind of hitting that point where it's just going to be really hard until she gets maybe another item to sustain into the Scion. But his W is so useful right now. He's so tanky on it. And, looks like they're just going to trade mid lane fighting for top lane, and now.
Yeah, they think they have a pick onto a Dame. Vigar maybe caught out. He used the flash already, puts up the cage. They're going to get out. Nautilus ultimate popped onto King Vivi. Not going to find much, though. That's a couple of ultimates used from the side of Malevolent. Now we'll see if JRCC wants to re-engage. Diana has ultimate looking for it. Doesn't have the flash, though. Going to try and hide on Vision, doing the same thing he did last game. King Vivi is so good at this. Sweeping out Vision, hiding in the shadows, making these counter plays, right? Completely shuts down the engage from Malevolent. As we see, we're back to the bot lane. Side lane match up at the tower. Actually going to fall in favor of TDD. As you said, this Scion kind of untouchable at this point of the game. Look at this, like Sushi snipping and snipping and snipping, gets slowed once. Nothing you can do. You cannot catch the Scion. Still has the ultimate if he wants it. Dragon is now up in 30 seconds, though. That bot lane push may give a little vision control to JRCC, but I think we're going to see a full 5v5.
I think we will too, but I think the better play would be try to just let one team go one way and then go for the other side. Baron is still very, very much a better objective to get here, but it's easier to settle for the Dragon. So since it's not Soul, you can give up this last one and then play over. The amount of the amount of like push that you'll get from the Baron could really, really help.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of key item breakpoints coming through here too. As they see, they're actually going to follow your call exactly. They're moving up towards this Baron. They say, hey, look, we shred this thing. Kaisa, one of the best, if not the best Baron taking AD carry in the game. We can melt this Baron before you even get here. And it seems like JRCC doesn't even know. They haven't seen it yet. This thing is just completely down. Baron falls immediately. They're going to move on to the Dragon. Malevolent says, we're okay to make this trade. As Sushi actually engaging on the weak side of the bot lane, might find a solo kill on the weak side. Sushi puts the Scion on the dirt. We'll see if he can get out. Might have to pop the Ghost. Oh, yeah, hit with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. I don't even think popping the Ghost is worth it at this point. Pops it anyway just to die. Trades 1-for-1. Gwen's immune, not quite immune enough. Will fall on the bot side 1-for-1. Dragon goes to JRCC, but still Malevolent is so happy sneaking a Baron out from under their grasp.
Yeah, and now you have the top and the mid pushing. JRCC is not pushing out this, but they also already took the tier 2. So Malevolent is basically playing catch up on these turrets with this play. And if they can transition this over in tier 2 there, they can have a little bit. But King V looking like he wants to make a nice little play here.
Yeah, Vivi on the flank.
Ooh, they can
Off
see.
vision for now. Oh, jumps in, flash over the wall, hits him with the ultimate. Not quite gonna find anything. A Magnastorm in from Reximus, but they just don't quite have the damage. Finally pick up Thin. Oh, Rel flashes over the wall, will fall at the last second. Lucifer now in a little deep, flashes out, still stunned up by the Morgana. Ooh. Oh, great killer instinct for Trainer Gain, avoiding the Scion, getting the kill on the Ashe. We'll see if he can get out now. No flash, no cleanse on the Kai'Sa. Flash out for Morgana. Can Malevolent escape? It looks like they will. They pick up 2 kills. They trade their Panther for it. Noble just wants to hook in. It does not matter the situation. This Nautilus wants to go in. 2 kills picked up for Malevolent. 1 Baron down on the side as well, though. Pantheon will fall. Gwen, importantly, doesn't have the Baron, has to catch the bot lane wave. These teams are never, ever content with an objective.
No, they're not. And I think it's an overall win for the side. Malevolent, you're now 7-0-9 on this kind of Terminus, so she's going to be tanky. Really good finger work on that, on the Killer Instinct to just pop in there and get out of everything. Oh no, King BB.
Yeah, Vivi going again is, oh wow, actually Trainer Gain walks into the side of the Vigar cage, will get popped out by the Vigar ultimate at the end of the day. Magnet Storm in from Reximus though, but Vivi caught out, doesn't have the ultimate left. Rel will fall as well. Scion now dashing into the middle, but he may be here a little bit too late. Then take it very low though. Vigar might be able to carry this fight out. Sushi kind of low as well. Noble gets a nice double knock up there at the last second. Oh, but Sushi falls completely. This Vigar is on line. Adame picking up a couple of kills. Lucaith and Noble, the only ones left alive on the side of Malevolent. JRC see some signs of life. They hit the Q. I'm kind of glad that Nautilus hook didn't land. I don't really want to see what would have happened.
Right, and you're starting to get onto that timer of the Vagar. You see how much damage she did to Kai'Sa with just... She just oversteps a little bit, walks into the side of the cage instead of trying to work around on the inside of it and not get hit. Vagar is going to be able to one-shot basically anybody on the side of MVE with the exception of a Pantheon with it. But other than that, the time is starting to tick. Vagar is becoming a monster. Scion, the only person that can fight him is Gwen. If Gwen is not there and it's not a 1v1, you're not going to be able to take on the Scion. So Malevolent needs to start figuring out a way to push the tempo of the map. And not having to catch waves at their tier 3 towers anymore. Pushing this, they need to find a way to, you know, get a good pick, maybe onto the Vagar, onto somebody, follow it up with more pressure and objectives.
Yeah, and it looked like the Baron play was their idea of that, right? They chose to go for the Baron over the Dragon to push the tempo. They thought they could really explode the gold lead from that, really open up the map, but they just weren't quite able to. They got, 1 tower off of it. They haven't been able to crack the tier 2s in either top or bot the way that JRCC has. TDD has just been 2 games in a row now so effective on the split push over Sushi, right? Sushi has not been able to match him, and we see that paying dividends for JRCC now. Their decision to not contest the Baron, to take the Dragon instead, set themselves up for Soul Point, has paid out completely. They are now on Soul Point. Dragon spawns in about a minute, and Malevolent is on the back foot. You're absolutely right. They are the ones who now need to find an answer to this Vigar. Just ticking over to level 18 for Adame there. He is playing with such confidence. Noble fires out a hook, not gonna find anything. Black Shield is on him, but doesn't have the flash. There is no way out. Hits the depth charge onto the Scion. You cannot get anything done. That is a level 18 Scion in your face. They're gonna find Lokaeth as well. Double kill goes to King Vivi. That should secure the soul for JRCC, and it looks like they might be on the precipice of a 2-0.
That might be the kill shot right there. It's unfortunate if you are MVE because this game was winnable. It was in your favor. Thing right, just too much now. And another thing that can't be understated is what, 1-2, 0-2 at one point, and is now 6-2-10. So she's really been picking this up. Been doing a really good job of just staying in the back line and letting all the entropy that's happening in team fights to stay in front of him. And Trainer Gain is kind of doing the same thing, but Ashe just adds when damage isn't the concern, Ashe just adds that extra slow, the extra engage, the extra disengage with your arrow. So Lucifer on this Ashe is playing out of his mind from minute 12 and on.
Yeah, we don't have to count the early laning phase. That stuff doesn't matter. He got his flash blown level 1. It was a bit of a tragedy. There was nothing he could do. Got his flash blown again on the repeat gank, right? Like, come on. And since then, you're absolutely right. He's been playing incredibly well. And Trainer Gain trying his best, 7-1 and 11 on the Kaisa, does so much damage, but just doesn't have time, right? Kaisa needs time to kill the Scion. Kaisa needs time to chew through that front line, and he just can't get it. King Vivi is jumping in on him every chance he gets. Trainer Gain is spending more time in these team fights trying to stay alive than he is pushing out damage, and there's no one on his team really peeling for him, right? Lokayath and Noble always going in, Thin flashing in constantly, and Trainer Gain is kind of like left on his own. To see Noble blind Q into the bush, I love it. Not quite blind, they had vision, but like really just wants to find a hook. They know they need to fight around this Baron. If they give up a Baron to JRCC, they're just gonna fall.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, JRCC ends up getting the Smite battle, King V that over Thin. So yeah, the problem with playing Nautilus like this is it's really good when you want to be aggressive and you're ahead. When you start falling behind or it's even, if there's nobody to peel for your Kaisa, then every move that you make is like, but now they're like, hey, you got to make a move. They're pushing front here, and
and this is the move. King Vivi comes in, hits a 3-man Diana ult. Rex misses on the backline with the Magnet Storm, and they are tearing them apart. Trainer Gain flashes that falls to King Vivi at the end of the day as well, and the Vigar ticks them out and rips them up, uses them as spare parts. They're gonna march it down mid lane. That is almost a clean ace. Gwen is walking out of the base by herself. She can't defend on this. Looks like JRCC actually gonna take the safe route, gonna move over to the Baron, gonna take the Baron instead of trying to end the game off the back of this. I don't mind it. See, Sushi might get a kill on the Scion here. Doesn't have ult, doesn't have flash. Sushi should be able to pick this one up in the middle. Maybe can't quite catch him. Dashes forward, snip. Not gonna find it again.
The ghost for that should have blown it quicker.
Yeah. Sushi wasn't there for that fight. They got kind of flanked. They said, hey, if you're going to move on Baron, we're going to push out the mid wave, walk up, see if we can take an inhib, but they just got completely flanked.
Yeah, that was just, it's one of those where you're like, okay, we just need to make a decision. It doesn't work out, you know? And so then you're just like, I'll call. But, you know, I mean, if it had worked, if they had stayed on the Baron, that could have been a huge play. You open up the center, you know, things work out. But unfortunately for them, JRCC, who was kind of caught off guard by that call, ends up making it, making it work. Now you're back to the turtle game, trying to wait until you can find a good pick. Just clear this out, and hopefully they don't get a free Elder off of this Baron.
Yeah, but they probably will, because the issue with the turtle game is like, last game, the turtle game featured an Ornn and a Jinx, where it's like, oh, you know, if we turtle long enough, like maybe we'll hit a breakpoint and outscale them. That's not happening this game. You're looking at a Vigar and a Scion. This Vigar taking half HP off of Nautilus with one rotation of abilities, not even using the ultimate. I think if he pressed R, he would have just died. Adame playing with so much confidence. He's walking up right in their faces. He knows he can't be killed. Look at this Scion. So much HP. Like, nobody is fighting through that. Sushi does a lot of damage, but not anywhere near enough to fight through this. And Vigar and Scion are just going to continue to get stronger.
Yeah, this is like the time was ticking 5 minutes ago. It's almost... Yep. The alarm has sounded. Sushi just gets Sushi! There. Oof,
barely lives at the last second in the Howl of Mist. Has to pop the Zonias to get it. Secret's Arm Guard, may be able to upgrade it into Zonias now. He gets the cooldown back. No harm, no foul there.
Yeah.
As they don't quite take the inhib in the mid lane, but taking tier 3 towers in both top and mid.
For TDD, we saw this before.
Yeah, Noble pops the flash. The Killer Instinct popped as well, but oh my god, Adame on the bot side picks up the Morgana like it's nothing. Vigar standing in the middle of everyone and just shredding them. King Vivi is in the middle, and King Vivi is running the map. An ace for JRCC is gonna mean a 2-0 victory over Malevolent Esports Eclipse. They fought hard in this game too, but JRCC so clean in closing out the game.
The VOD reviews after this are going to be brutal. You need to maybe drop your egos a little bit, because these games were extremely winnable, both with different win cons. They played it really, really well, fought tooth and nail for every single objective that they could. The game was like 63.4 to 63.1K at one point. It was extremely close, but you know, the scaling from the side of JRCC got to kick in, and in game one it wasn't able to kick in the side of MVE. So you know, Malevolent is just going to have to go back to the drawing. This one bothered too much, and you know, they played a good game. It just one too many bad decisions, and JRCC did everything they could to give this game back to them. So there's a lot to talk about. Both teams decides to improve from this. Really well fought, and it was a ton of fun to cast this.
Absolutely. Nothing better than a complete bloodbath. There's like look at that Gwen damage to champions, by the way, 52k, kind of quietly. I mean, just hitting up on a Scion in the side lane, right? You're gonna stack up the damage on a tank matchup like that. But yeah, signs of life from Malevolent, absolutely. Some really, really good plays. I like what Finn was doing in the second game on the Pantheon. I really think their bot lane quite strong in the 2v2, like playing really well on the Kaisa. It got a lot of work done, but at the end of the day, it's the overextensions after team fights, right? It's the not playing well around vision, face checking bushes time and time again. And truly my MVP for the series, King Vivi from JRCC. This guy so like snappy with the engages, plays around vision so well, knows his limits, knows exactly who he is targeting, and seems to find his mark every fight.
I'd kind of have to agree with that, with the exception of maybe game 2 on this Ashe, just staying composed after getting jumped on by Nautilus, losing your flash level 1, but not giving up too much. And then in the late game team fight, staying at max range and knowing his own weapon, stay inside of and keep everybody basically at bay. But that's going to happen when you have a Rel that's pulling everybody towards her and actually peeling for you from a distance. Nautilus up there not able to do it, and then like you said, King Vivi recognizing when to go in and that he was able to stay alive after engages. So really well done. A pleasure to watch that. And yeah, King Vivi on this jungle, in my mind, he's got to be the best jungler in this league because he just made Finn look sort of pedestrian in this whole series.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I've cut out there a little bit of the last minute, but I also want to say Reximus, I really shout out to Reximus, hit the 10 death power spike on the Rel and never stopped going in, right? Knew what his job was like, I don't care. I'll die a 10th time. I will keep going in these fights. I will provide the engage that Vivi and Lucifer need to deal the rest of the damage, right? Truly shout out. JRCC coming out a second 2-0 victory, this time in week 2, 2-0, still undefeated so far in the Gladiator League. They're looking like the team to beat. We'll have to see if they can keep it up for the rest of the season, but that's going to do it for us tonight. I'm Mojo Pal. That's Fel. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we are going to, I believe, hop over and raid the other stream at 1-1 on game 3, so we'll see you all later.